Hello, and welcome to I Choose Me Healing Ministry S.O.S, which is Sabbath Overflow Service. I know I was supposed to be live since 7:15, but the Wi-Fi was just going crazy, and we figured it out, and we're here because I did not want to not be live today for our Sabbath service. I just want to welcome you and just say thank you for tuning in. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of time to tune in. For those who got here, because I'm late, I'm going to, like I said, get some time for everybody to kind of stroll on in. But I can talk a little bit about what Sabbath service is all about. It is every Saturday outside. We outside, right? That's what everybody's saying in this season. We outside, but right now we outside for healing and the healing of ourselves, of our souls, of our mindsets, right? And so every week we pour into our roles and our titles and our responsibilities. We pour into the people that we love, and then we are depleted, right, for us. And so, what this Sabbath service is all about is honoring the seventh day. And on the seventh day, God rested, and God was so powerful. And even in his power, and even in his greatness, and even in his Abba, right? Just unlimited resources, he took a rest on the seventh day. And so, what this service is all about, is about you. This is I Choose Me Healing Ministry. And so, I want to serve you, the person who does for everybody the other 6 days of the week. On this day, I want to pour back into you so that you can get that I am energy, that refill that maybe you gave to somebody else, right? Sometimes we are in relationships with people where we are able to pour into everybody, and sometimes the people that we're pouring into cannot pour back into us, and that's okay because God set it up like that. But he said me, yes, he said me, the Apostle Precious Paul, and affectionately known as the Soul Sage Doctor, in order to what, give you a little bit more, just give you a reminder that the best is yet to come. And though you worked the last 6 days and you poured into whatever it was, whatever new project, maybe at work, whatever new project, maybe in your entrepreneurship goals, maybe you had a new way of doing stuff. You may be a new mom, right? Or maybe you have a new teenager. And so all these different things you're learning as you go from day to day. And so every seventh day, after we're going through this learning process that is probably pulling on us and scaring us and touching us and just holding us so tight that sometimes it feels like we got to worry, right? And so I want us to not worry about tomorrow. I want us to know that what we have today is enough. Who we are today is enough. What we came to bring today is enough. And it starts by just celebrating all that we've already done. It starts by acknowledging what it required for you to even show up in the magnitude you are right now, and realizing that when you do your work, it allows you to show up for somebody else to do their work, because it's a relay race and somebody is relying on you. And it's about us being God's Bay. You see my cute little shirt I'm wearing today? You can always find this in I Choose Me, blingboutique.company.site. But it's asking, are you God's Bay? And it's just saying, are you bringing anointing everywhere, right? So God has anointed us, and he has also appointed us for such a time like this. But we can't do our work if we are empty. And so that's why we celebrate the Sabbath as this SOS service, because we need overflow. We need a refill so that we can be who God called us to be, and that we don't look like our story, okay? So that's what it's all about, not looking like our story and celebrating the process. So, of course, I'm not going to be before you long. I don't know what we will be speaking about today, but I'm going to pass because it was raining out here. And I wanted to make sure when it stopped raining right at the hour, it's so close to where I live that it's so convenient that I said I'm still going to come outside. And so, right now, I have the support of my amazing husband who is working the behind the scenes for me. And so, I'm going to give him the Bible today for him to open up and tell me where we be reading from, so that we can get this message underway, so that I can get you guys on your way, and so that this Sabbath S.O.S can be done. Okay. So as he looks, do we have any comments? No. Okay, cool. So he's just closing his eyes. And right now, before he starts, I just want to do a special prayer, God, that wherever that you land today, Lord, that it will be a word for somebody. I don't care if it's just one person. God said, if there is one person lost, that we shall find them, right? He said that we will be fisher of men, and we got to remember that it's our job to catch them, not to clean them. And so I pray that he would find us a good word on today that would just mentor our mindsets in order to get into action for our attraction and realize that God is not picking on us. He is picking us up for such a time like this. And so we ask that in your precious Yeshua, your son's name, Ashe, Amen. Where are we, honey? Jeremiah. Well, where did you you were on Jeremiah, what chapter? Hold on. And you're in Jeremiah, and those are the major 15. Prophets. Jeremiah is it Jeremiah 15, so he's saying Jeremiah 15. I'm searching, you guys. I'm no Bible scholar, but I can read. Okay, so Jeremiah 15. So we gonna read 15 and see what the word is for today. And so I have the teaching Bible, so I'm gonna read it just as crystal clear as it can come. Okay, so you can go to your Bible, whichever way you're comfortable understanding the word. Since I'm speaking to so many different people right now, I just want to make sure that there is no misunderstanding, that there's clarity in the word. So Jeremiah 15 is where we're at. And this is under, in the teaching Bible, is under Judah's inevitable doom. Do Jeremiah 15 and 10. 15 and 10 is where he is at. And so we're going to do 15 and 10, and we're going to do 10 through, straight through 21. So we're going to finish, huh? Yeah, it's not that many. I think so. Yeah, because I feel like it requires all of that. If you're going to start at that, that's a whole area. Because in Jeremiah 10, it is in the teaching Bible, is under Jeremiah's complaint. It says, then I said, what sadness is mine, my mother. Oh, that I had died at birth. I am hated everywhere I go. I am neither a lender who has threatened to foreclose nor a borrower who refuses to pay, yet they all curse me. The Lord replied, all will be well with you, Jeremiah. Your enemies will ask you to plead on their behalf in times of trouble and distress. Can a man break a bar of iron from the north, or a bar of bronze? Because of all my people's sins against me, I will hand over their wealth and treasures as plunder to the enemy. I will tell their enemies to take them as captives to a foreign land. For my anger blazes forth like fire, and it will consume them. Then I said, Lord, I know I am suffering for your sake. That is amazing. That is powerful. I want y'all to hear that again. When Jeremiah, remember we started at 10. We're in chapter 15, and we started from 10. But right here it says in 15 and 15, then I said, Lord, you know I am suffering for your sake. Punish my persecutors. Don't let them kill me. Be merciful to me and give them what they deserve. Your words are what sustain me. They bring me great joy and are my heart's delight. For I bear your name, O Lord God Almighty. I never joined the people in their merry feasts. I sat alone because your hand was on me. I burst into indignation at their sins. Indignation at their sins. Why then does my suffering continue? Why is my wound so incurable? Your help seems as uncertain as a seasoned brook. It is like a spring that has gone dry. The Lord replied, if you return to me, I will restore you so you can continue to serve me. If you speak words that are worthy, you will be my spokesman. You are to influence them. Do not let them influence you. They will fight against you like an attacking army, but I will make you as secure as a fortified wall. They will not conquer you, for I will protect and deliver you. I, the Lord, have spoken. Yes, I will certainly keep you safe from these wicked men. I will rescue you from their cruel hands. Oh, may the Lord add a what they said. May he add a blessing to the reading of his word. But what I think that's so powerful about where we landed, you see, Jeremiah was talking about just how hard it is, as we know it is, to live life, right? And go through things with people who hurt us, who disappoint us, who reject us, who lie on us, who betray us, right? And then in the midst of all of that, you want to go to God and you're like, God, I need you to punish them. I need you to let them know that they're messing with your child. I need you to let them know that I have been through some things because of them. I need you to let them know this. And what God is saying, like, if you would not take it personal, if you would not take it into your own hands, if you can release that bitter feeling of who has hurt you, right? I promise you that I will give you tenfold. I promise you that I will bless you. Certainly, I will give you everything you lost. Certainly, I will protect and deliver you. You know what it means to be delivered? It means to be able to push past a certain moment. When we think about delivery, we could think about childbirth, right? And so, in the moment of childbirth, it is painful. When you're going through the process of having to give birth to something to be the evidence, right? So that God can see through you, or so others people can have the evidence of just how God is using you, even in the midst of what maybe they've done to you, right? Because if you can love them past their faults, then we are operating in the way of trusting God to let him take care of it, not ask him to harm anybody, not ask him to get them straight, because God knows that we had to get ourselves straight at times. God knows that there were seasons where we were learning and trying to figure it out, and we surely didn't want nobody to go and ask God on their behalf for what you may have wronged them in, to bring the rod against them. Let them feel it in a way that they know that you are God and that they have harmed me, or that they are interfering with my process. Oh Lord, do you see who I am? Do you understand what I'm going through? Do you understand my story? And so you're going to God humble as you know how, and then asking him to make sure to make them pay for the wicked ways that how they served you or did not serve you, right? And so I think what's so powerful is that he says right here in this last line, the Lord has spoken. Yes, I will certainly keep you safe from these wicked men. So at the end of the day, there's no need to worry about how somebody has harmed you. There's no need to worry about how they will get their how you will get redemption on what has happened to you. It is your job to trust God to heal you through the process. It is your God to trust God to know that he will restore you. He will give you friends better than the ones that you lost, right? Because sometimes we are hurting and we are stuck because we had an expectation of somebody. And when somebody doesn't meet our expectation, we end up becoming more depleted. And then we also end up becoming more wounded from the experience. And so we are going to God battered and beaten, looking for him to rescue us. And he's telling us, listen, trust me, right? Don't ask for them to be harmed. Trust that I will hold you, that I will take care of it, that I will let them understand and see from their own ways. But if you choose to take it in your own hands, then it becomes a tit for a tat, right? And so then it's like, what is the difference between you and them? And so it is so hard to be, as they would say, the bigger person. It is so hard to say, God, what is the lesson in this that I can turn into a blessing so that I'm not stuck in this wilderness of doubt? I'm not stuck in this wilderness of hate. I'm not stuck in this wilderness of isolation because I'm scared to allow anybody else in because I am stuck on the pain of maybe what has occurred in the past, what someone has done to me before. And so that's why I think this is such a powerful message, because it is our job to be merciful in this season. Because in that mercy, God gives us grace. In that mercy, God gives us love. I'm not saying it's your job to get walked on or to be beat up on, but it is your job to release, to let go, meaning love every trial, because you get grace expects testimonies. You get to be here. And sometimes we think that God is picking on us, but he is really picking us up for such a time like this so that we can influence them with how he said, influence them with how you speak even though they hurt you. Influence them with how you smile, even though they hurt you. Let me tell you something. I'm on a journey myself, and sometimes it's hard to get out of your feelings and into your healings. It is hard to have mercy on somebody that you think didn't have mercy on you, but it is not your job to have mercy on. I mean, it's not your job to not understand that God has mercy on us all. It is your job to receive that we are all going through the process, that we all fall short. And so that maybe their area of expertise may be different than yours. And so we expect people to treat us a certain kind of way because maybe we have matured spiritually in a certain area before somebody else, right? And so now we become these scholars, shall we say. And so then the judgment comes in because now we are so studious that we forgot the learning process. And so God is saying, just be an example, right? Love yourself through in order to love them through. See yourself in the moments where maybe you didn't get it. Maybe somebody misunderstood you, right? Maybe it was something that was no bigger than just that moment, right? Maybe somebody was just having a bad day. And so I think that what's so important is that we realize that until we can let go and let God, until we can stop trying to fight the battles of the wars that we don't even understand, we'll be like that hamster on a wheel, right? You're just turning, 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 and you're not getting anywhere because you are holding the load of hate. You're holding the load of fear. You're holding the load of doubt and worry, and that these people will not get what they deserve. But God said what they deserve is mercy, the same mercy that He gave you, right? And so, outside of them, because this is I Choose Me ministry, what I want you to have mercy on is you. I want you to forgive yourself for the times that maybe you hurt somebody else. Because God said to love thy neighbor as you have first loved yourself. And so if you have not given yourself mercy, then it is definitely going to be hard for you to have mercy on somebody else. If you have not loved yourself through those indiscretions, then it's going to be hard for you to love somebody else through the indiscretions. If you have not loved yourself through that feeling of insecurity, then maybe it's going to be hard to love somebody else who is putting their insecurities on you, right? Because it's about us working through our own issues and our own problems and our own pains in order to be able to help somebody else work through theirs, or realize that it wasn't about you. It was about their growing pattern. It was about their growing level where they were at the time. And so too often we allow where somebody else's brokenness is to be a part of where we see our strength or where we find our worthiness. And that's why we get into the seasons that we are upset and we are depressed and we are feeling wounded and we are feeling helpless and we are feeling looked over. We are feeling betrayed. We are feeling like, nobody sees us. But God says, I see you. And I want you to be the example. I see you. And I want you to love on you. I see you. And I want you to be that greatest part of yourself. I see you. And I want you to love yourself through all of those things because that's what life is all about. It's about loving you first in order to have the capacity to love somebody else, in order to have the understanding to love somebody else, in order to have the willpower to love somebody else, right? Because we are worthy, worth the yes. And so I love that in this verse and in this chapter of Jeremiah is just about the Lord saying, if you return to me, stop trying to do it on your own. Stop trying to solve all your own problems. Get in relationship with me because greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And so if you can get and return yourself to me, I promise I will give you peace. I promise I can give you joy. I promise I can replace that doubt. I promise I can fill you back up with what somebody else took because there's somebody else waiting to pour back into you like you have poured into so many. And so don't be hurt by who couldn't receive what you were pouring. Just know that God sees you, that He loves you, and that He is dealing with you according to your assignment, to the plans that He has for you. And so until we can be merciful to ourselves, it is definitely going to be hard for us to be merciful to other people and then be the example for God to be proud of so that we can pull people closer to God, right? Closer to love because God is love and love grows everything and you are the center of it. And so even when people are trying to steal and rob you of your love, when it's so easy for you to choose hate, it's so easy for you to choose rejection. It's so easy for you to choose fear. It's so easy for you to put all the negative things in your mind and forfeit the I ams and forfeit the ability to surrender to the lie that you are not enough. Surrender to the lie that you have to feel this sense of inadequacy that stops you from showing up in a way that can trust other people again, right? And so forgiving me for not understanding the process into my promise is the prayer that you must pray. God, forgive me for not understanding the process into my process because when I'm complaining, I'm not maintaining. When I'm wanting people to get paid for what they've done for me, right? Get that payback, that means I'm missing a moment. God is stretching you while He is stretching them. And so it's up to you to see you in order for you to do what only you can do. And so I think that that would be the word for the day as most as I can see it at this time, right? So I want you to remember that God is saying, don't forget to come to Him with everything that you have and trust Him. Stop trying to fight your own battles. You're going to get blood on you. You're gonna get them talking about you, right? You're gonna get the rejection. It is not your job to fight your own battles. It is your job to not take it personal, to release those feelings of payback, to release those feelings of I just would say those insecure feelings that keep us stuck and keep us trapped in fear and keep us trapped in discomfort and keep us trapped in not knowing, right? And so it's up to us to just love ourselves through and believe that we are enough. Mm. And this one right here, before we close, I just want to say, he says, but I will make you a secure and fortified wall. A wall. Sometimes we got to stop building up the wall. We got to let God build up the wall. Sometimes we build up the wall without God's permission. And when we build up a wall, nothing can get in as well as nothing can get out. And so we got to remember that in order for us to be who God called us to be, we got to go to Him so that we know when He chooses to build up the wall because God will make whatever removal He needs to make. He is Abba Father. He has the power to do that. And so that's what we have to remember in all things. Trust God. In all things, don't get stuck in the who. The who may kill you, but the what will heal you. The what is your wisdom at. So don't let it steal your joy. Don't let it steal your gratitude. And don't let it change your attitude, okay? We need to have a positive, loving, winning attitude. And when we can't have that, we just need to separate ourselves until we can find the peace to do whatever it is that God is trying to do through us, right? And so, without further ado, you can read up on Jeremiah. That is one of the major prophets in the Bible. So don't forget, we was at Jeremiah 15 at 10, right? Jeremiah 15, chapter 10, verse 10 through 21. If you want to go back and read it through, I just want to remind you, as always, it is a relay race, and somebody is relying on you to turn your heartbeat into a soul beat in order to leave your soul print. Because the fingerprint tells us what you got wrong in this world, but the soul print, it tells us what you got right. And what God got right is you. And so I want you to understand here at I Choose Me Ministries, right? S.O.S. Sabbath Overflow Service. It is about us realizing that there are no walls, floors, or ceilings to what God can do through you when you choose you. He said, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And so that means that we don't compete. Oh no, that means we complete. And the difference between those two words is an L, because L stands for love, and love grows everything. And I really believe that God is so powerful that he couldn't put all of him in one of us. So he put a piece of him in each of us. And I call that a God piece. And when we begin to bring that perfect peace, right? Because God is perfect. And yes, the flesh is imperfect, and we go through some imperfect things, but we are going to a destination that gives that perfect God peace, that assignment that is on your life. When God said, let there be light, he was talking about me and you. So remember, you can never turn on anybody else's light, but you can provide enough light for them to find their switch. So stay lit in this world so somebody can find their way out of the darkness. Thank you for tuning in to I Choose Me Healing Ministry, S.O.S. Sabbath Overflow Service. We are here every Saturday right at 4900 Berewick Town Center. We outside, y'all, and we also on live on Facebook and YouTube. So don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in, and to you, because when you choose you, you're really loving yourself. You're really loving God, and you're really honoring the assignment that is on your life. Don't get stuck in what you're going through. That's your wisdom hat. It's not what you go through, but it's what you grow through that makes you who you are. So love yourself first, and don't you forget that love grows everything. Remember our motto: I pledge to embrace who I am today, love who I was yesterday, and inspire who I will become tomorrow. I choose me. Hashtag no more excuses, because you were born enough. Do not forget to go get your book. What the F is your mustard seed? Faith or fear? This book will take you into a season of no doubt. See you guys back here next week. You have an amazing, amazing day. Bye bye.